Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to go over something different. What I thought would be really cool and kind of funny is to go over a list of eight things that people say that is super judgmental or annoying to MWIs, met while incarcerated couples or women, prison wives, girlfriends, fiancés. These aren't only things that I've experienced. I actually posted in my support group, and so some of these came from some of the members in the group. So let's start. Number one, why do you want to be with someone who is in jail or prison? I don't know. Why do I want to be with somebody that's in jail or prison? That, I think, is the stupidest question ever. Why would anybody choose this life? Like, nobody does that. I mean, I'm sure there's like a few people here and there. They call them inmate hoppers in the prison wife community that actually seek out people that are incarcerated. They just, I guess, like knowing like where their significant other is at. For the most part, like the majority, we don't seek out that sort of a situation. So for people to ask that is kind of a little bit crazy. So let's move on to number two. You don't know what it'll be like when he gets home. And this is something personally that I've had asked or said to me before. You don't know what it'll be like when he gets home. That's true. But I mean, if you've been with someone for a while, if you've really gotten to know them, if you have a very, very open relationship, you know that person. Whether they're in prison or they're on the streets, like, you know what that person is like. You know their traits, their characteristics, you know everything about them. That's how I feel about my husband anyway. I know that when he gets out, he's going to act the same exact way that he acts right now, like when we're in a visiting room. Now, we do get long visits. They're like 8 hours, but still, like, either way, people change, whether they're in prison or they're in the free world. They do change, but people also stay the same. It's one of those things like where you're like, yeah, you know, if that's what you think, that's fine. This is my relationship, and I'll find out. When he comes home, I'll find out. To me, like, it's kind of nosy in a way. To me, I mean, your relationship is your relationship, and it's not really anybody else's business. So we have number three. How do you know it's real love if you've never spent time together other than calls and letters? Well, you know what? If you've ever been in love, you know when the real thing has hit you. You know if you're in love with someone. You know the difference between like being in like with that person, maybe lusting after that person, or being in love with them. How do you know if it's real love? How do you know if it's real love? Like, that's honestly what I would say to somebody that said that to me. Like, how do you know your relationship is real love? Let's move on to number four. Are you sure he's not manipulating you? Are you sure he's not manipulating you? Yeah, I'm pretty positive. My husband in 3 years, like, never has asked me for money. He's never asked me to bring drugs in, like smuggle anything into the prison. Like, there's no red flags that have ever come up to made me like really think at night when I'm laying in bed, is he using me? Is he manipulating me? Nope. Now, there are people like that are going through that. There are people that are experiencing manipulation. I see it, I wouldn't say a lot, but it does happen. And to those people, you know, I would just say be super careful. Watch out for those red flags. If you really are thinking that he's manipulating you, then he probably is. And I would definitely run the other way. He's in jail or he's in prison. It's like the perfect time to get out of that relationship. You know what I mean? That's what I say to those people that may think that the person that they're with is manipulating them. If somebody ever asked me that, I would be like, no, I know my husband inside and out. I know him better than anybody. I know him better than he knows himself. So no, I don't think he's manipulating me at all. Number five, how can you be okay with his crime? I guess this is something that can be touchy just depending on the crime. I mean, whether it's like a drug crime, non-violent crime, burglary, murder, rape, whatever the crime is. So personally, my husband is in for a murder charge. How can I be okay with his crime? I can be okay with his crime because he was 19 when it happened. It wasn't intentional. He's 30, almost 34, so he's a completely different person. What happened in our situation, like I said, it wasn't intentional, and I wouldn't say it was like a complete accident. It's kind of like in the midst of that. I know he's never gonna be okay with his crime, ever. I know that for a fact. We've talked about it. And I pretty much like feel that what happened. It can never be changed. If we could, we would go back and change the past, obviously, but we can't. So we just have to accept what happened, better ourselves, move forward into the future, pray for the family, pray the family of the victim, and they will always, be in our hearts and in our prayers. And honestly, like I said, just move on. We can't live in the past because that's not going to do anything for us. But my husband specifically, he committed that crime. He served his time. He's already done over 14 years. That's where we're at with that question. Once again, like for people, maybe it's an old friend from high school, or maybe it's like someone that you're not that close with, or maybe it's a family member. I understand family members asking those type of questions, but someone that's not that close, like it's really none of their business. I've said that to people before. It's my situation, it's my life, it's my relationship. Fortunately, I don't have to answer to you. Number 6. People are going to think something is wrong with you. Are they really? Are people really going to think something's wrong with me? Why are you so judgmental? Why are you so worried what other people are going to think of me? Are you my mom? No? Okay. That's what I thought. For that, I would just say it's none of your business. And I know I say that for almost all of these questions, but it's pretty much the truth. Your relationship is your relationship, and nobody should really be able to ask you these sort of personal questions. Maybe your best friend or your family, but not other people. So we are on number 7. Why did you go seeking out a relationship with an inmate? This is like the most common MWI question. And I want to say specifically, like, it's not something that I've been asked by family members, friends, and those sort of people. The majority of people that ask this question are other prison wives. Prison wives that are not MWI, obviously. They, knew their loved ones before they were incarcerated. Some prison wives can be really judgmental. Not all of them, some of them. I've been told that we are naive. Our relationships aren't real relationships because we met them while they were incarcerated. We don't really know them. And they think that we sought out a relationship with somebody that's incarcerated. For me, I've told this story before, but that is not the case. My husband, I met him through a pen pal site. It was not looking for a relationship at the time at all. I was looking for a friend, just somebody to communicate with and correspond with, and I definitely found that. We had an instant connection, and we just kind of went with that connection. So it wasn't something that I was like, oh my God, I need a man, I need to get laid, I want to get married, Then looked up a prison pen pal site looking for that. That totally was not the case. Like I mentioned before, there is the term inmate hopper that's used in the prison wife community, and that's for women that they'll be with somebody that's incarcerated and that relationship won't work out. They'll immediately get with somebody else that's incarcerated, and they'll just go from one to another to another. A lot of women that do go through those relationships, they might have some issues that they're trying to work through. Because I have heard specifically from people that knew my husband, there was one woman in particular that she'd been with her husband for quite a while. He'd been incarcerated for quite a while. And then he actually found out that he was going to be getting released. He had a life sentence and he was getting released. She should have been super excited and overjoyed about it. And instead, she broke up with him. She told him that she knew where she was at all times, and that's how she liked it. She had her routine. She saw him once a week. Everything was set. She had the schedule. And so she didn't want that to change. So there are people like that, I think, that might be why they get with somebody that's incarcerated. But the majority of women that I know that are MWI, met while incarcerated, they are not like that at all. It's like any other relationship. Number 8, the last statement that I have, the last annoying, irritating statement that I have. How can you go that long without sex? This is my most annoying question that I get asked all the time by family members, by friends, mostly family members and friends. How can you go that long without sex? Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just don't have it. When you don't have sex for a while, you just don't really think about it that often. If you love someone, you can go years without having sex. If you're not in a situation to have sex, to have that intimate relationship. Between me and my husband, we've been together almost 3 years next month, and we obviously haven't had sex. We don't get our family visits till November, so it'll be 3.5 years that we've been together and haven't had sex. But it had been a year for me before that. It's not really a big deal. I mean, it's something that obviously you want if you're married and you're with somebody that you love and you care about. You want that intimacy. But honestly, my husband has even said this. He's had more intimate moments with me sitting at a visiting room table and holding my hand than he has in past sexual relationships. So yeah, if you really love someone, you can have a more intimate relationship holding someone's hand than just having sex with someone that you don't really truly love. So to all those people that ask that question, how can you go that long without sex? I just tell them the truth. If you really love someone, you can go your whole life without having sex with them. But hopefully you won't have to. Hopefully, you know, they have an out date or you get family visits or something along those lines. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, those are all 8 questions that I have for you today. I want to thank you for watching the video. You'll notice like I'm in a different background. I'm actually in a hotel room. I had a double visit weekend with my husband. I am in a hotel room in Aberdeen, Washington. I won't tell you the name of the hotel room in case there's anybody watching that happens to be in the area. Just for this time, I'm in a hotel room. I'll be back to my original location this coming week. If you liked this video, please give me a thumb up. Please comment below. I love hearing your guys' comments. They're just amazing. I love hearing everybody's comments. And I love responding to everybody that's watching these videos. If you know any other family members, prison wives, girlfriends, fiancés, please share this with them. Just, you know, let everybody know about this channel. We're up past 200 subscribers, so I'm super excited about that. It is growing, you know, it's growing actually pretty fast. We're really excited about that. What else did I have to say? Oh yeah, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button there. We would love to have you be part of the Secret Life of a Prison Wife family. Thanks again for tuning in. I will catch you all later. Love ya.